You need to hear this because most people never see it coming. The moment you stop pursuing them, they notice it right away. But not in the way you might expect. Not with relief, not with indifference. It hits them with a sudden clarity that feels almost frightening. It shakes something deep inside them. When you stop chasing, things do not just change on the surface. Something shifts inside them quietly. The person you once pursued begins to feel a kind of inner disturbance they cannot explain. This is where it becomes risky for them. They begin to feel an empty space where your attention used to be. Before, they did not even know that space existed. Now it feels wide and uncomfortable. They are not used to that silence. They are not used to that absence. So they begin to panic, even if they do not understand why. If you want the real psychological truth, this is where most people misunderstand everything. Your absence is not just absence. It becomes a mirror. It shows them things they avoided seeing. They begin to realize that the sense of control they had over you is gone. And when that control disappears, their mind becomes restless. It becomes uneasy. It starts bringing up thoughts they do not want to face. They begin to question themselves. They wonder if they valued you for who you were, or for how you made them feel important. Without you there, that false image starts to break apart. But they cannot fully accept it yet. Their mind becomes divided. One part wants to hold on to what they had. Another part is afraid of what they are feeling. That inner conflict creates a kind of quiet chaos inside them. They start imagining your life without them. Every smile you give to someone else. Every moment you move forward without them. Every second you are not thinking about them. All of it starts to hurt in a silent way. And here is something many people do not expect. It is not just longing they feel. There is anger too. There is fear. There is guilt. These emotions mix together in confusing ways. It shows up in strange behaviors, sometimes irrational, sometimes impulsive. Most people do not face these emotions directly. They try to escape them. They distract themselves. They pretend everything is normal. But your silence does something powerful. By stepping away, you force them to sit with what they were never ready to face. Something deep inside them wakes up. Something they kept hidden for a long time begins to rise. That inner voice that was quiet before becomes louder. It tells them they cannot lose you. It tells them they cannot let go easily. They start remembering everything, every conversation, every message, every small detail. They analyze moments that once seemed meaningless. They try to figure out where things changed. They try to find a way to pull you back. And this is where it becomes intense. They feel a strong need to act, not always in a planned way, sometimes suddenly, sometimes emotionally. Because the human mind struggles with uncertainty more than anything, and you have created uncertainty. From your side, it might feel peaceful. It might feel like silence is harmless. But silence, when used this way, is powerful. The moment they realize they cannot make you chase them anymore, something cracks inside their self-image. The version of themselves they believed in starts to fall apart. Things they ignored before begin to rise to the surface. And that is the dangerous part for them. Because now, they are not sure who they are anymore. They struggle to understand what they are feeling. Your silence has made you the center of their internal conflict. And what happens next is something even they cannot predict. Absence feels more disturbing than rejection. Rejection is clear. It has a shape. It can be understood. Absence feels like chaos. It leaves space for imagination, and imagination can be harsh. Their mind starts filling that empty space with thoughts. They notice every small detail they ignored before, every delay in communication, every change in your behavior, every moment that did not include them. These small things start to feel significant. They replay memories again and again. They begin to search for patterns, even where there are none. Their mind tries to create meaning out of uncertainty. Their pride cannot handle not knowing. And not knowing is exactly what you gave them. Then doubt begins to grow. They question their past actions. They question their choices. They wonder if they misunderstood you, if they pushed too far, if they failed to appreciate you. Old doubts begin to rise like ghosts. The human mind does not accept loss quietly. It tries to fix it. And when it cannot find a real solution, it creates one. It builds stories, it creates explanations, it tries to regain control. At first, it appears in small ways. They think about reaching out, they become curious about your life. Then it grows stronger. They imagine different outcomes. They replay conversations. They think about what they should have done differently. Regret becomes heavy. They feel trapped in their own thoughts. Your distance has triggered something basic inside them. They realize they cannot control the situation anymore. They cannot use charm. They cannot use pressure. They cannot influence you the way they used to. And that is where many people start to lose balance. Because the human mind is not comfortable without control. Deep inside, they fear losing you completely. This fear does not follow logic. It comes from a deeper place, a more instinctive part of the mind. The part that reacts quickly. The part that demands answers. And here is the difficult truth. Their mind starts making plans without clear thinking. They may feel the need to prove themselves, to win you back, to regain control, or in some cases, they may feel the urge to hurt you in return. Because when pride is damaged, emotions can override reason. The calm image they showed before starts to fade. The masks they wore begin to fall. And now everything feels personal to them. They are dealing with emotions they cannot manage well. Desire, jealousy, guilt, embarrassment. All of it comes together and feels overwhelming. They go back and forth between different states. One moment they want your attention. The next moment they feel ashamed for wanting it. One moment they want to reconnect. The next moment they resist their own feelings. This inner conflict becomes exhausting. And here is the strange part. You did very little. You simply stopped chasing. But that one action revealed everything they were hiding, the parts of themselves they avoided, the parts they did not want to admit, the parts that quietly say they feel weak or not enough. Most people try to escape these feelings quickly. They look for distractions. They try to explain things logically. But this is not something logic can fix. This is deeper than that. This is emotional pressure building inside them, and over time, it becomes stronger. The longer you stay away, the more intense their thoughts become. They begin to notice things about you they ignored before. Your confidence, your independence, your ability to move forward without them. Each realization adds to their discomfort. They remain stuck between desire and fear, between wanting you and resisting that need. In that state, their mind creates scenarios. They imagine getting control back. They imagine reconnecting. They imagine proving something. And sometimes, they imagine getting even. Because your absence has shown them something clearly. You are not theirs to control. You never were. And now, they have to face that truth. Whether they accept it or not, that realization stays with them. It stays in the silence you created. And that silence continues to speak louder than anything you could have said. And that fact does not harm you. It mainly harms them. Now here is the open question we leave hanging for a moment. They are alert now, even if they are not fully aware of it. Something inside them has turned against them. Their own mind is no longer a calm place. It has become restless and unpredictable. They do not know where this will lead next. The trouble has already started, and you are right at the center of it. They are beginning to fall apart, but it is happening quietly. So quietly that even they do not fully notice it yet. It starts in small ways, a strange tightness in their chest that comes without warning. A sudden wave of worry that feels out of place. A feeling that something is wrong, even when everything looks normal. But it does not stop there. It slowly grows. It spreads into their thoughts, into their actions, into their daily life. A steady sense of panic begins to touch everything. Here is the hard truth they cannot avoid. Your absence is not empty. It acts like a mirror they cannot easily turn away from. And what they see in that mirror frightens them. They begin to see themselves clearly, without excuses, without masks. They see their weakness. They see how much they need. They see how afraid they are of depending on someone. For a long time, they hid behind false beliefs. They told themselves they were in control, that they were above needing anyone, that they could walk away without feeling anything. But your silence removes all of that. And you did not need to do anything loud or dramatic. Most people think confrontation requires action. They believe it takes words or force. But they are wrong. Stepping away is its own kind of confrontation. Silence can be powerful. Refusing to chase is often the strongest move of all. Now their inner world becomes active in a way they cannot ignore. Everything they buried starts rising up. Every hidden desire, every false story they told themselves, every layer of pride they used to protect themselves, all of it comes forward at once. They begin to feel something strange, a strong desire mixed with anger, care mixed with fear, hope mixed with regret. It becomes confusing. They might find themselves staring at their phone, thinking about reaching out, their fingers ready to send a message. They know they should not, but the urge is there. And in that moment, something inside them cracks a little more. Because every person has parts of themselves they try to hide. Hidden fears, secret wishes, thoughts they do not want to face. When life moves beyond their control, those hidden parts grow stronger. They push forward, looking for attention, looking for release. On the outside, they may still look calm. They may act normal. They may pretend everything is fine. But inside, it is very different. The mind does not pretend. It keeps speaking quietly. It keeps pulling. It keeps reminding them of what they lost. And your absence has started that deep pull. They begin to imagine things. They picture you moving on, living your life, laughing without them, being happy without even thinking about them. These images feel real to them, and each one hurts their pride. Each one reminds them they cannot control you. They cannot pull you back easily. They cannot undo what has already happened. And this is where it becomes dangerous for them. Because the mind does not like empty space. It dislikes uncertainty more than it dislikes pain, so it starts filling the space. It creates meaning, even if that meaning is not real. They begin to overthink everything. They replay conversations in detail. They analyze every word, every pause, every look. Small memories become sharp. Each one turns into a point of self-questioning. Each thought becomes a reflection of fear. Deep inside, something more basic takes over. A part of the mind that existed before logic, before calm thinking. A part that simply reacts. That part begins to guide them. Not through clear thoughts, but through strong feelings. And you remain at the center of that inner storm. They may feel pushed to act, to contact you, to check on you, to create some kind of reaction. Because when absence reaches this level, control feels far away. Desire and fear take over. The mind begins to struggle under pressure. They cannot let go, but they also cannot return to how things were. So the pressure builds. Every sign that you are living independently hits them hard. Every hint that your life continues without them feels like a loss. And the hardest part is this. You cannot see what is happening inside them. From the outside, everything may look quiet, but inside, they are spinning, caught in thoughts they cannot escape. This is not simple sadness. It becomes something deeper, a mental pressure that changes how they see everything. It sharpens their focus. It increases their insecurity. It makes every weakness feel larger. And still, they do not fully understand why they feel this way. Their logical mind tries to stay in control, but it is already losing that control. They are caught in uncertainty, caught in silence, caught in something that feels louder than any words. And still, they show very little on the outside, at least for now. The pressure keeps building quietly, and this is where everything becomes unstable. They are standing on the edge of breaking. Their thoughts feel unsteady. Their desire is mixed with fear. Their wishes are clouded by regret. Their focus becomes intense and hard to control. They are reaching a point where something has to change. Because when the mind reaches this stage, it cannot stay the same. It either shifts into something new, or it breaks apart completely. And at the center of all this confusion is you. Not because you did something dramatic, but because you stepped back. Your absence has done its work slowly, without noise, without warning. The version of control they believed in is gone. Now the surface has cracked. They are left looking into the space you created. And in that space, they see themselves. Not the version they show others, but the honest version. The one that feels desperate. The one that feels afraid. The one that does not feel in control anymore. And here is the part they struggle with most. They do not like what they see. They do not like their need. They do not like their weakness. They do not like the fear of losing something they cannot replace. And yet, they cannot look away. They cannot forget it. Because your absence revealed something real, something chasing never could. Most people never experience this. Most people never face themselves in this way. They never see what appears when someone they relied on steps away. Now they are forced into that situation. And it is uncomfortable. They want you. But they are also afraid of how much they want you. They desire connection. But they are uneasy about how strong that desire feels. Their inner voice becomes clearer now. It tells them they need you. But it also tells them things cannot go back to how they were. They begin to feel exposed, not good enough, seen too clearly. And the mind begins to crack further. The defenses they once used are no longer working. What comes next cannot be avoided. The inner storm begins to open fully. They may try to reach out, in small ways or big ones, but it is not the same anymore. The old balance is gone. They no longer feel in control. And this is the truth most people never face directly. You were never theirs to control. You were never theirs to keep. By stepping back, you place them in front of the strongest mirror there is, their own mind. Every doubt they ignored, every fear they avoided, every hidden desire they denied, all of it stands clearly in front of them now. And it does not go easy on them. They begin to notice things they overlooked before, their mistakes, their patterns, their blind spots. The weight of it becomes heavy. Because now the focus is no longer on you. It is on them, their pride, their defenses, their false beliefs, all of it breaking down. And here is the quiet power of what you did. You did not force anything. You did not argue. You did not chase. You simply stepped away. And that created something real. No one can force deep understanding through pressure. Real reflection comes from distance. It comes from silence. It comes from refusing to play the same patterns again. Now they are left to face themselves. Some will fall apart completely. Some will become angry. Some will try to regain control in any way they can. But none of them stay the same. They all change in some way. They all begin to see things they avoided before. And here is the strange truth at the end of all this. You did almost nothing. But everything changed. Because when the chase stops, the truth begins. It is no longer about pursuit. It becomes about awareness. It becomes about facing what is real. It becomes about seeing clearly. They feel it now, that quiet strength, the presence of someone who will not chase, someone who will not bend, someone who will not shrink themselves for attention. And that is something they cannot ignore. Your absence has done what words never could. It has forced real awareness. Not just for them, but for the truth that was always there, hidden under fear, hidden under desire, hidden under denial, waiting for silence to bring it out. And in the end, one thought remains with them. They wanted you, but you were never something they could control. And now they see clearly. The person they avoided all along was themselves. That realization stays with them, long after the silence, long after the distance. It stays. Because some truths cannot be unseen once they appear.